2 in the morning and mine won't start, no. You're deep in the pain and it feels full throttle. With a heavy soul and a heart that's hollow. Can't fill this void with a pill or a bottle.
Okay, welcome to my second week of IVF injections. This is egg retrieval week, so I am very excited about that. But this is the start of a brand new vlog. If you guys watching this haven't seen my IVF video from last week, I'll go ahead and link that down below. You can check that out. That was my first week of IVF, and I think I did a pretty good job explaining the IVF process in that video, the injections, the Menopur, and the Gonal F that I'm taking every night between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And that stimulates follicular growth, so hopefully to produce eggs for the egg retrieval this week. This morning I had to take my Citrotide injection, so now I'm on 3 injections, 2 at night, the 2 to stimulate follicular growth, and then the Citrotide in the morning to stop ovulation, because now that my ovaries are getting bigger, follicles are developing, hopefully there's eggs in those follicles. We don't want my body to spontaneously ovulate the eggs. We want to be the ones to retrieve the eggs. So hopefully the egg retrieval surgery will be Friday or Saturday. I am tracking a little bit slower this time. My ovaries are developing a little bit slower than my last round of IVF that was back in November. So for those of you who are brand new to my channel, this is my second round of IVF, and I wasn't going to vlog it again, but a lot of people wanted me to, and I kind of want to document and see what was different this round versus last time. I am starting to feel each ovary, so when I walk, I can kind of feel like a ping pong ball on each side of my lower abdomen moving around. It's not painful. It's a little bit weird feeling, but nothing is uncomfortable yet. Yeah, so today's Monday. I had my second ultrasound of my ovaries today. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I did do a post all about my ultrasound results. So these are my ultrasound images from today, and it's really cool. I'll put like a close-up image here of each ovary. If you're not going through IVF, each ovary is small, oval shaped, and you don't see the follicles, but with these stimulation IVF injections, the ovaries get really big and the follicles kind of start to bud. So each ovary looks like a honeycomb shape kind of thing. So each circle is a follicle. So each like dark circle is a follicle, and the hope is that each follicle has an egg in it. A lot of my follicles are a little bit smaller, and so the small follicles probably don't have an egg, or if they do have an egg, it's probably like too small of an egg. It's not really a mature egg. So we'll kind of just see what happens on egg retrieval day, how many eggs they can retrieve from my follicles. And then the last picture is a picture of my uterus, and they do measure my uterus every time they do the ultrasounds, which I'm not too sure why. I don't know if the uterus changes shape or what during these IVF injections. Maybe you guys know, you can comment down below, but my uterus is looking fine. Looks healthy. So like last week, I'll pick up the camera every day and I'll tell you guys how I'm feeling, if I'm feeling anything different. Symptoms today are really the same as last week. So far, I'm not feeling too many bad symptoms. A little bit of bloat, kind of like my last round of IVF. I got really bloated the second week, so we'll see how much the bloat gets worse this week. And I also felt really tired last time I did IVF, and this time I am feeling a little fatigued. It's not bad though. I'm not experiencing any mood swings. I'm not experiencing much anxiety, although I always get a little bit nervous as the egg retrieval day comes closer because it is surgery under general anesthesia. All right, so I'm gonna get these injections over with. It is almost 8 o'clock at night, so gotta do these injections. I'm not gonna really like show all these injections this time because I feel like it's so repetitive. If you guys wanna know how to, like if you're going through IVF or if you're about to go through IVF and you wanna know how I do the injections, go to my last video of last week and I'll link that down below and you can see how I do the injections. By the way, if you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I upload 1 to 2 videos a week all about living healthy, and then I do throw some renovation videos in here and there because we are property owners and I live in a 4-plex right now that we own, that we've been renovating. All right, IVF week number 2. Here we go.
I've been where you wanna show you my skies is personal. But there is a love wherever you are unconditional. You're never alone, you're never alone.
All right, Okay, you guys, if you hear the dishwasher going, we are doing the dishes because we just ate dinner and I made cauliflower mash, which I haven't made in years, and it was delicious. I'm gonna keep this a little short because I have a stomach ache and I don't know why. My stomach's been bothering me probably since like 4 o'clock this afternoon. Normally I get stomach aches if I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry anymore. We had dinner and I just have this like abdominal, like lower abdominal ache. I don't think it has anything to do with my IVF medications. I think it's just one of those things, but I am a little bit more bloated today, but I'm pretty bloated right now because my stomach hurts and I've had dinner. But yeah, I'm noticing that like all around, I'm quite a bit more bloated today. Wasn't painful until like 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I think I just have to like take a shower and relax, and I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. But other than my stomach, I'm feeling pretty good. Like I said, a little bit tired, but my emotions are fine. Yeah, everything else seems to be okay. So I'm gonna give myself these stimulation injections real quick. Tomorrow morning at 8:15 is my ultrasound again and blood draw. So that'll tell us if I'm on track for egg retrieval on Friday or later than that. I'm really hoping it's Friday. I don't want this to drag out anymore, but they have already warned me that it probably will be Saturday. My ovaries are kind of just growing a little bit slower than last time, so tomorrow will be an exciting appointment. All right, I'm gonna get this over with. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm gonna speak kind of quietly because people are still sleeping, but no, it is great giving yourself a shot first thing in the morning. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Oh, it's 22 degrees. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a story on how cold it is. We are going through a cold front right now, but guys, it's sunny, so it makes all the difference. Still, high today is I think 32, so it's gonna be cold, but it's sunny. Just got out of my ultrasound, which was successful. I have a lot of large follicles, which is a good sign, so hopefully those follicles have an egg, and a lot of little follicles. So the little follicles probably don't have an egg in them, and if they do, they're small and immature. But regardless, my ovaries are measuring big, how they should, so I should trigger tonight, they said. So my egg retrieval will be Friday. So my doctor will go over my ultrasound results this afternoon and my blood work, so my estrogen level draw, just to make sure that's high. And then my nurse will call me this afternoon and let me know what the final plan is. If I do trigger tonight, which I'll tell you what that is in a minute for those of you who don't know, like I said, my egg retrieval will be Friday because the trigger drug takes about 36 hours to kick in. So what my trigger drug is called Lupron, and it is a sub-Q injection in the lower abdomen, just like all my other shots. And what it does is it stimulates ovulation. And like I said, it does take about a day and a half to actually work. So by Friday morning, I should be feeling like last time, right before my egg retrieval, I was feeling like I was going to ovulate all these eggs. It's some like cramping sensation down low. Anyways, we'll just kind of see what happens. I will obviously let you guys know by the end of the day what the final plan is. If they tell me not to do the trigger drug tonight, then I will need to do one more night of the Gonal F and the Menopur injections, so the stimulation medication. And then tomorrow morning the Citrotide medication, and then it would be tomorrow night I would give myself the Lupron. So we'll just kind of see. In terms of symptoms today, this morning I'm feeling okay. I'm definitely feeling full. Bloated like I was feeling last night. I'm sorry I didn't talk to you guys too much yesterday. I just was not feeling well, like just upset stomach, bloating, and I don't know that it was really due to the IVF medications. I don't know if it's something I ate or whatever, but this morning I'm feeling a lot better with my stomach, but definitely feeling full, bloated. I am feeling my ovaries. When I walked from my appointment to my car right now, I was like, oh yeah. Feeling them. And the ultrasound was a little uncomfortable because they do go in through the vagina. They stick a probe up there and they kind of like bump up against your ovaries to ultrasound them. And so if they're big, of course it's going to cause some cramping. Glad that's done. We'll just kind of see. Got to go home, do some housework, walk the boy. I got some very exciting news. So my clinic just called me, and for sure I'm giving myself the trigger drug tonight, but I have to give it right at 6:30. And you guys, it's my last injection. Yes, no more. So right at 6:30, because this trigger drug, the Lupron, needs exactly 36 hours to work, which means that they scheduled my egg retrieval for Friday morning at 5:45. 5:45. So I live in Tacoma and I have to drive to Seattle for this. Normally I just go to the Tacoma branch for all my ultrasounds, but that's not a surgery center. I have to go to the one in Seattle, which is a 45-minute drive without traffic. So I have to leave here latest at 5 a.m., probably maybe a little earlier just to make sure. So which means I have to get up at like 4:30 or 4:15. Holy moly. And the reason why they're putting my surgery first, so Friday, I guess they have 14 egg retrievals is what my nurse is saying. And that's a lot apparently. And they're putting mine first. So I get to be the first surgery because they're predicting to retrieve a lot of eggs from me. Mine might take a little bit longer. So that's why I get to be first, because apparently they're predicting a lot of eggs from me, which is a good thing, but oh my goodness. I was really hoping this would be my trigger evening, and it totally is. It's not quite 6:30 yet, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but I wanted to update you guys in the daylight because I'm always updating you guys in this artificial light, although it's kind of cloudy this afternoon, so it's dark anyways. Pacific Northwest weather for you. And I am definitely feeling my ovaries this afternoon. I'm like walking and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so full. I feel like there's golf balls on each side of my lower abdomen moving around. My camera didn't record because I was recording on my phone, and then I think my brain thought I was also recording on here, so you guys didn't see me do the trigger injection, but it was just like any of the other injections. Draw it up, give it in my abdomen, sub-Q. So it went fine, didn't feel any burning or anything. So yeah, last injection, and tomorrow I get off. So no more shots tomorrow, and then of course Friday morning's my egg retrieval. I did forget to tell you guys that I have to do an ovulation test tomorrow morning, like around 9 or 10, just to make sure that I absorbed the Lupron and make sure that I'm actually about to ovulate. Yes! Last injection, and I'm so happy because these injections are not fun. I know the lighting is really bad, but this will have to do. I want to talk to you guys. It's midday and I've had such a stressful morning. So I took my ovulation test this morning and I tested negative. I freaked out. I was like, what? So you know, on an ovulation test, if you guys have never tested yourself to see if you're ovulating, most of the tests have like a happy face, and a happy face indicates that you're ovulating, and like a blank face indicates that you're not ovulating. And so I'm supposed to have a happy face. I'm supposed to make sure that my body is ovulating, which means that it absorbed all of the trigger drug last night. Well, mine came up with a blank face. So I was like, oh my gosh, my body didn't absorb the trigger drug. What am I? So I called my clinic, which that's another story. I was on hold for like half an hour. Finally got a hold of my nurse, and she said, okay, come on in and get your blood drawn, because apparently a blood draw is a more accurate indication of whether your body absorbed the trigger drug and if you're about to ovulate. Sometimes the ovulation kits aren't exactly that accurate. So she's like, if you can get on over like as soon as possible, because the courier that like I guess transports the labs, he's leaving at 10:30, and it was like 10:20 in the morning. And granted, I was a mess. I had just walked Yuma. I hadn't even brushed my teeth yet. And she was like, come on, race on over here because the labs are gonna get sent out any minute. So I raced over there, got my blood drawn, and I actually met my nurse for the first time that like coordinates my care, and the one I've been communicating with this whole time. I had never actually met her face to face, so it was nice to put a name to a face. Anyways, so she was really nice, and she told me, don't worry about it. Worst case scenario is you just have to give yourself an additional trigger drug dose tonight, and then your egg retrieval will just be pushed off a day. So instead of having your egg retrieval tomorrow, which is Friday, it'll be Saturday. So it's not the end of the world. I was thinking in my mind when I saw that negative ovulation test, I was like, oh my gosh, like the whole thing's gonna get canceled. I went through all those injections for nothing. Apparently that's not the case. So it's not that bad. I am now waiting to hear from my clinic about my blood draw results and what the plan is. Well, he was asleep, but then when Josh got me this camera to talk to you guys, he woke up. That he was just doing this a minute ago. So I was like, I didn't want to get up. Doing some snuggling before my egg retrieval tomorrow morning. So it's on. Clinic called me this afternoon, and my nurse told me that my blood draw confirms that I am ovulating. So I did absorb that trigger drug. This is what we do. This is like our daily routine. Huh? Yeah, Josh is sitting over there. We do this every night. I'm gonna bring you guys along with us tomorrow, bright and early. Be updating you guys as tomorrow unfolds. Egg retrieval was a success. It was just so early in the morning. We got there early too. We got there at 5:30. We were supposed to be there at 5:45. It was so early that the receptionist called us on our drive over there and said, hey, the building's completely locked because it's so early. So here's your code to get in. And then the elevators aren't working right now because you need a badge to do it. So He came down, met us once we got into the building, and escorted us up the elevators, and it was just so early. If you guys watched my egg retrieval week video last time, it was the same thing. My nurse was really nice. I got there, I filled out some paperwork, and she brought me into the pre-op area where she'd started an IV, took my vitals, had me sign the consent forms for the egg retrieval. I met the anesthesiologist, who was really nice. So the anesthesiologist just asked me if I had any health history, any complications with anesthesia in the past. Of course, no, for all those answers. And then I met the surgeon. The surgeon was the same surgeon as I had last time, which was really nice because he remembered me. I remembered him. Old guy, he's been doing this forever. He's really nice. So he remembered that I had a lot of eggs last time. And I don't remember if I mentioned this, but that's why they wanted me first case today, is because they were predicting that I would have a lot of eggs. So I might be taking longer, but no. So grand total egg count 17. So I was a little surprised by the low number, but the surgeon talked to me afterwards, and he said that's actually a better sign.
Continue
that
for half a mile.
Those eggs might be more mature than getting like so many eggs, because it's always assumed that if you get so many eggs, like 53 like I got last time, most of those eggs are not mature, they're not viable. So he said if you get a lower amount, it's actually a good sign that they're mature, high quality eggs. So I'm hopeful for that. Yeah, under general anesthesia, they just put like a mask over me when I walked into the OR. So they brought me to the pre-op area, did all that, but I just told you. And then they had me walk to the OR, which was across the hall. And then they just like had me lay on the table, and the anesthesiologist put a mask on me. And then before I knew it, I was out. And then actually before I knew it, I was waking up in the same room, the pre-op room that I was in. And my surgery was at 6:30. I was awake by 7:15, I think. I'm really fast to wake up from anesthesia. Apparently it's a redhead thing, I've been told by anesthesiologists. But yeah, and then we were out of there by 7:45. And last time I got donuts, and it was from Mighty O Donuts, I want to say, in Seattle, which I wanted to try because they're vegan. But this time I was like, let me just try the best donut shop in Seattle. So I did some research on the drive over here. I found a donut shop called Raised Donuts, and I got like a strawberry one, which is the top one, and the apple fritter, because I love apple fritter. And then Josh doesn't like donuts, so he got Chick-fil-A, and he got me a fruit cup, so I'll probably eat that soon. On our way home, and apparently I'm just gonna rest the rest of the day. I felt the same after anesthesia. I feel a little bit more cramping down in my lower abdomen. I didn't really feel any cramping last time, but now I do feel like a period cramping type sensation, so it's not bad at all. They did give me something called Toradol when I was waking up through my IV, and Toradol is kind of like a high-powered ibuprofen, so I know that's why I'm not feeling more cramps right now than if they didn't give that to me. I already have an oxycodone prescription at home from the last time, so that was only a few months ago, so I know that prescription is still good. They told me that I could take some oxycodone if I was really in a lot of pain. Later, they suggested I just take Tylenol at first and Advil if I get more cramping, and then if those don't work, then take oxycodone. But they also told me to look for any bleeding. If I have some spotting, that's normal, but heavy bleeding is not good, and I need to call the clinic if I have any heavy bleeding. But so far, so good. I'm not feeling much. I feel good. I'm just a little bit sleepy still, post anesthesia. So the clinic said they would call me by tomorrow with how many eggs they could fertilize. We'll see. Brought my mirror out to the hallway for better lighting. I want to show you guys. This is what's bothering me the most today, is this bloat. Normally, gosh, and I have a bruise there too from the injections. Normally I have a flat stomach, and this bloat is pretty uncomfortable, and I can just tell like overall that I'm retaining a bunch of water. Normally I am a lot leaner, and I just have to accept the fact that I'm gonna just retain water right now from all of those injections. And then when my body was about to ovulate yesterday morning, with all those eggs and your ovaries getting so big and those like stimulation injections, one of the side effects is water retention and bloat. I don't know, I'm struggling today with a lot of, I guess, thoughts running through my head with body image issues. And we all have our like body image issue days, and it's fine. I just have to realize that what I went through was a lot, and just to be proud of myself and just know that all this is gonna go away. Last time it went away within a week. All this bloat went away, and my water retention dissipated, and I was able to get back into my workouts. And I haven't worked out for now 2 weeks. I'm just feel like a fluff ball right now. besides the water retention and the bloat, I overall feel pretty good. I am still feeling my ovaries, and I remember from last time, it takes about 5 days for the ovaries to shrink back down to their normal size, and I should be getting my period within 5 days. So once my period hits, then my ovaries should be pretty much down to their normal size. And by the way, I am going to be starting the birth control pill again once I get my period in about 5-6 days, and that's because off the pill I don't menstruate, or if I do menstruate, it's very irregular. So the clinic wants to be in full control of my cycles because they're going to start preparing my body for the transfer. And I don't know any of those details yet about the transfer, when that's going to happen, but as of right now, they are going to be using this time that I'm waiting for my body to like have another cycle with doing the genetic testing on the embryos. So, which brings me to my exciting news. So this morning I got a call from my fertility clinic. That, remember, I told you guys yesterday that they got 17 eggs, which I was very happy about. So 13 of those 17 eggs were mature, and 9 of those 13 eggs they could successfully fertilize. So at this point, those 9 fertilized eggs are like zygotes, so they're in their like very early stages of turning into an embryo. Takes about 5 to 6 days for those zygotes to turn into embryos. I'm hoping they all turn into embryos. Statistically speaking, they probably all won't turn into embryos, so we'll just see after about 5 to 6 days how many embryos I got, and then they'll start genetically testing those embryos, which the genetic testing takes about 2 weeks or so. We'll just see what happens. So I am very excited. I got 9 zygotes. Yeah, so overall feeling good. Like I said, I'm still feeling my ovaries when I walk, but I don't feel as full as yesterday. So yeah, overall, the main thing that's bothering me is this water retention and bloat. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do a separate YouTube video on the bloat after egg retrieval, but actually, the water retention and the bloat starts the first week of IVF, and that's been my main symptom that's been bothering me, is the bloat and the water retention. I did gain 10 pounds in water weight, so just wondering if you guys want me to do a separate video on that, or I was also thinking about doing a separate video on my progress with how long it's going to take for this water retention and bloat to go away. So I did take progress pictures starting today, post-op day 1 for my egg retrieval, on what my stomach is looking like, and you guys have already seen that. And then I am going to take progress pictures and videos every single day for the next maybe week to 2 weeks to see how long this bloat goes down, how long it takes for the water retention to go away. Let me know if you want me to do a separate YouTube video on maybe the progress of how my bloat is leaving my body, because I know a lot of you guys out there are going through IVF or thinking about going through IVF and are worried about bloat and weight gain. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video on how long it takes for all that to go away and what I'm doing to help with my water retention. Yeah, and I did weigh myself yesterday, and I'm normally around the 135 mark, and when they weighed me pre-op yesterday, it was 142 pounds, which that is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I don't remember ever stepping on a scale and even it hitting 140. So I'm always 135. I'm more comfortable in the 130, 132 range. I'm gonna start to just sort of like track my weight and just see where I'm at over the next week to 2 weeks. But because of the water retention and the bloat and the weight gain that I've experienced, I am on high alert for a syndrome called OHSS, which stands for Ovarian Hyperstimulation Syndrome. Basically, it's where you do gain a bunch of water weight, and it's actually in reaction to the IVF medication stimulating your ovaries. It normally happens post egg retrieval, because now that like all these eggs have developed and they've taken them away from me, my body is reacting to my basically ovulating a bunch of eggs, and that can send the body into a hyperinflammation state where the body just retains a bunch of fluid, and it's dangerous because the fluid normally accumulates around vital organs. And so if I'm experiencing more bloat like out to here and a ton of weight gain, they say more than 5 pounds in a day, then I need to call the clinic and go in and get examined. And if I am retaining a bunch of water around my abdomen and vital organs, it needs to get drained. And normally this syndrome happens in women that have produced a ton of eggs. So this time of only producing 17, I don't think I'm at super high risk. Last time when I produced 53 eggs on egg retrieval, the clinic was calling me almost every day, asking me how I'm feeling, my weight gain, because they were concerned about OHSS for me. This time, not as much of a worry, but my ovaries were very big this time, even though I only produced 17 eggs. So I'm just sort of like keeping track of my body, my weight, my bloat, just make sure it doesn't get worse. And if it does get a lot worse, then I gotta call the clinic and I gotta go in and get examined. All right, that's all the news I have. And because there's nothing else going on, I think I'm just gonna end the video here. here. Thank you so much for watching this almost week-long IVF video. I hope this video helped you guys out in some way, or if anything else, it was just entertaining. Remember, for you guys watching, that if you're going through IVF, if you're going through infertility issues, remember, you are never alone. Please leave lots of comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. I do respond to every single comment, and I'll just keep you guys posted as to what happens with these zygotes that I have, and how many embryos I get, and the genetic testing, and then hopefully the transfer in a little bit. Also leave comments down below what videos you want to see next from me, because I really take those into consideration. But yeah, I think I will do a video on bloat, OHSS, how my progress is doing with my water retention over the next week to 2 weeks. Give this video a like if you liked it, because it really helps support my channel, and always remember to be kind to yourself.